Hey, what's up guys? I am Hunter SC. In this video I want to share with you all the available skill runes for the wizard, and then we're actually going to take a look at a couple of new skills that are available in the beta. The first skill rune we're looking at affects Arcane Orb. We have Arcane Nova here. Same weapon damage but double blast radius. The radius is doubled, which means that the actual surface area of the circle is even more than doubled. So the damage you're dealing with this new and improved Arcane Orb, Arcane Nova, is really great. Aesthetically, it is now a blue color instead of purple. And, well, let's take a look at its effects. Here we go. Huge radius. Huge radius. I mean, in either case, it does take quite a bit of arcane power. It is a 35 arcane power, so you can only cast it about 3 times before running out. But huge blast radius, and hands down my go-to skill in the beta. You do a lot of damage as it is in the beta, and then to multiply that by 250% at 20-yard radius, you can just wipe out whole mobs in a hurry, as we just saw. Next up, we're going to take a look at the first of 2 skill runes available for Magic Missile. You unlock Charged Blast at level 6. It's the first rune skill that you unlock. Its effects are pretty simple. It bolsters the damage, the arcane damage of Magic Missile from 110% weapon up to 143. I'm actually also going to check if I switch a weapon on now, does that change? No, it remains at 143, which I wanted to double check because some spells actually, some rune skills more specifically, have different weapon damages depending on what gear you have equipped. We're going to now take a look at this rune skill, Charged Blast. Very similar to Magic Missile. The animation is slightly different. Charged Blast is a little bit larger, same color. Slightly different shape, it's a bit of a diamond shape now, and as I mentioned before, pretty simple, does more damage. Now we're going to take a look at Split, the second rune skill unlocked for Magic Missile. It's actually the last rune skill available in the beta. You unlock it at level 13. Instead of firing 1 Magic Missile, it splits into 3 for 50% weapon damage each. So 50 times 3 is going to be a total of 150% weapon damage, so that is certainly a buff over what is originally available for Magic Missile, and this is what the Split rune skill looks like. So you can hit multiple targets at once. It's quite difficult to hit one target with even more than one of the splitting Magic Missiles. So it's really best to use this if you're going up against, mobs and you're targeting groups. It's not very good for single target DPS because only one of the split Magic Missiles are actually going to connect. Here we're going to take a look at Explosive Bolts. Explosive Bolts is a rune skill for Shock Pulse. It does the same damage as Shock Pulse, except it adds an AoE effect to slain monsters, 70% weapon damage to any monsters within 10 yards. So as we're going to see here, any slain skeletons are going to explode, dealing additional AoE damage to any monsters nearby. So we can see that effect right here. Given the nature of many of these skill runes, it really only makes sense to have Explosive Bolts selected. I mean, there would be never any scenario where you would just want to use Shock Pulse, because Explosive Bolts is everything that Shock Pulse has except some added AoE explosive effects to any monsters you kill with it. Here we're going to take a look at Shatter. Shatter is a skill rune for Frost Nova. When Shatter is selected, any frozen monsters that you kill have a 50% chance of releasing another Frost Nova. So let's try and take a look at the effects of that. Gonna try to just group some zombies together, or all these monsters, that's fine. Freeze them all, and then as you kill them, again, 50% chance of another Frost Nova. These monsters are actually frozen enchanted, so that's not the effect of the skill. Let's see if we can get lucky with this zombie here. There, he did it there. So that actually can just sort of engage a chain reaction. You cast a Frost Nova, you start killing the monsters that you've frozen, and if you get lucky, the dying monsters are going to release additional Frost Novas and just continually keep the mob chilled. So that is it for the skill runes, but with the Wizard, Blizzard has actually changed the level requirement for some of the skills. Now we have access to Ray of Frost. I think that the development team kind of swapped Ray of Frost and Disintegrate. Now you can't use Disintegrate in the beta. That's unlocked at level 20, and I think that makes sense. It should be a bit of a higher level skill. It's a very powerful ability. With Ray of Frost, it actually has a pretty similar animation to Disintegrate. It just deals frost damage instead of arcane damage. So why don't we take a look at that now. So it doesn't actually cool the monsters. It slows them, doesn't freeze them, and again just deals that frost damage. Pretty high DPS, drains your arcane damage quite quickly, but overall a useful spell, albeit not one of my go-to spells simply because the Wizard has so many really great skills available in the beta. Also, Arcane Torrent is now available. This is a pretty cool spell as well. Arcane Torrent, hurl a barrage of arcane projectiles, 190% weapon damage as arcane. I will actually add more specifically for Ray of Frost. It does 200% weapon damage as cold and slows movement and attack speed. 30% reduction in movement speed and 20% debuff on attack speed. Just want to get those numbers straight so you guys have that as well. Moving on once again to Arcane Torrent. This is an interesting skill. Let's just take a look. Now, I find that it's almost better to completely ignore the little projectiles that begin flying about. That's not really what the effect is. If I target the ground, like I'm going to click quickly here and then I'm going to click quickly on the other side of the screen. So you can see that even though none of those projectiles actually make their way to the top right, there's still an impact point that we see at the top right. Let's try it again real quick. 1, 2. Impact at the top right, but no projectiles actually make it over there. So I would say when you're using this skill, you can still kite, you can still do scoot and shoot, you can still try to line up big combos. Don't really worry about the projectiles themselves because any area that you click will be affected no matter what. This is a very powerful spell. It does eat up a lot of arcane power, but it does a lot of damage. It does AoE damage as well, so really cool new skill available in the beta. Definitely a big fan of it. So I'm going to move on and continue on with the other 3 classes that I have left. We've only done the Witch Doctor and Wizard so far. I hope some of the other classes have rearranged some level requirements. I was really excited that we have these brand new skills available in the beta, Ray of Frost and Arcane Torrent. So we'll see if that's true with the Demon Hunter Barb and Monk. I'm going to be leveling up those characters to level 13, and we will take a look at that in the days to come. Alright, thanks a lot for watching, guys. I'm Hunter SC. Peace out.